Hello, I'm continuing my reviews on the Puppet Master series with Puppet Master Axis of Evil. Now, Axis of Evil came out in 2010, and this is technically the 10th installment of the Puppet Master series, but it's the 9th installment if you don't include Puppet Master versus Demotic Toys as being part of the series. Now, Charles Band, who is the creator of Full Moon, which is the company that produced most of the Puppet Master movies, they don't include Puppet Master vs. Demotic Toys as being part of the series. So according to Charles Band and according to Full Moon, this is technically the 9th installment, and even on the back of the set here it says Puppet Master 9 Axis of Evil. So now this is directed by David DeCoteau, who also directed Puppet Master 3. He directed Curse of the Puppet Master, and he directed Retro Puppet Master. Now, Axis of Evil, like Puppet Master 3 and like Retro Puppet Master, is actually a prequel to the first one. This is actually, in the beginning of the first Puppet Master movie, you saw Andre Toulon at the Bodega Bay Inn Hotel kill himself, and essentially this movie takes place like right after the opening of the first Puppet Master movie. So the plot of Axis of Evil is it begins where the Nazis come to the Bodega Bay Inn Hotel and they try to get their hands on Andre Toulon to try to find out what his secret is to giving life to the puppets, but he ends up killing himself before they can get to him. And what happens is you do see scenes of Andre Toulon, but it's stock footage of William Hickey as Andre Toulon from the first movie. But I do kind of have to say, though, that the stock footage of Andre Toulon from the first movie doesn't really, like, connect very well with the stock footage, well, not stock footage, with the actual footage of the whole movie. But, it does seem like they were trying to make an effort, though. But, what happens is, like, the movie then follows a young man named Danny who is disabled, and the movie takes place during World War II, and Danny is all upset that he can't join the war effort, and apparently off-screen, Danny was talking to Andre Toulon, and apparently they became friends, and, like, what happens is, like, Danny, he finds Andre Toulon, and he sees the two Nazis who were there, that he sees them getting away, but essentially he finds the puppets, and, and he essentially becomes the new Puppet Master, and the two Nazis who went after Toulon in the beginning of the movie, they're two of the main villains in the movie. Like, technically, I want to say there are 3 main villains in this movie. There are those two Nazis, but then there's this Japanese woman, and, basically, like, basically, Danny, he finds out about a plan to blow up this, this factory making, like, weapons for the war effort, and, like, so now Danny and his girlfriend Beth have to use the puppets to help stop these two Nazis and, this Japanese woman, and that's the basic plot line of the movie. I'm gonna say that I don't think Puppet Master Axis of Evil is as bad as you may have heard. However, this movie does have a lot of problems. Now, I personally don't hate the film, but it does have a lot of flaws. Probably the biggest problem with this movie is the timeline. Now, in the first Puppet Master movie, it said that Andre Toulon killed himself in 1939. However, you then got Puppet Master 3, which was a prequel, and that was set in 1941, updating the time when Andre Toulon killed himself to sometime in the 40s. But this movie opens up saying it's 1939, so now you're supposed to assume it's 1939 when Andre Toulon killed himself, which would have been fine, but the thing is, though, in the movie, like, the movie's set in America, and you have Americans talking about, the war effort and them going overseas and all that, but the thing is, though, I'm pretty sure, and I could be wrong on this, but I'm pretty sure America didn't join the war until 1941, and this movie is set in 1939, So there's kind of a timeline issue there, which could be maybe they're trying to set this movie in an alternate universe where America did join the war in 1939 instead of 1941, but I don't think the movie's trying to be that smart. I personally think it was a big editing screw-up, like, you know, they put 1939 there, so really I blame that on whoever the fuck was editing this movie. But, and also another problem with the movie is, the puppets really don't look very good, like, especially Tunneler. Like, they gave Tunneler kind of a new look, but he looks horrible. But, besides that, though, I actually don't think the movie's that bad. That's just my opinion. I know I've heard a lot of really negative reviews about this one, but I actually don't think it's that bad. I mean, however, you do get... The movie's supposed to be set during World War II, when we were at war with Germany and Japan, and you do get a lot of words like Krauts and Japs said throughout the movie, but I understand they're trying to be, you know, they're trying to set it in that time, and I'm sure a lot of people said that during that time, you know, so I'm not going to fault it on that, but all I can say is it's a very flawed movie. I mean, it's not a great movie by any means, but I would recommend checking it out at least once, and bye.